Hi class, Professor Smith doing problem number 5 on the sample final for Math D. Consider the line y equal to negative 3/4 x minus 6. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to this line and passes through, let's check out our point, negative 4, 5, and then also find the equation of the line that's perpendicular to this line and passes through negative 4, 5. So the first thing we're going to recognize is that lines that are parallel have the same slope. And you say, well, how do I find the slope when they give you the equation written in the form y equal mx plus b? That means y solved for. So wow, it's just the coefficient of x. So negative 3/4 is the slope of the line that's parallel. So we can start off our equation saying y equals minus 3/4 x. So I know that much about my line. Now the only thing I'm missing is that the line passes through negative 4, 5. So I have to figure out what the y-intercept is that goes through the point negative 4, 5 with a slope of negative 3/4. So there's two ways to do it. One way is to plug in the point y equal to 5 and x equal to negative 4 and then solve for b. And the other way is to use an equation that I've given you for finding the equation of a line if you know the slope, negative 3/4, and you know the point. So I'm going to do both ways. So I'm going to first solve for b by plugging in the point 5 for y and negative 4 for x and solve for b. And then that way I can rewrite the equation with the value of b, not just the letter b. So let's do that way first. So now that we've substituted in y equal to 5 and negative 4 for x, make sure you don't accidentally put in 5 for x, and then the x value for x. All right, and so the the 4 and 4 will cancel, and because I have two negatives, I know it's going to be positive, so that's going to give me 5 equals 3 plus b. Subtracting 3 from both sides, we get 2 equals b. So then our equation becomes y equals minus 3/4 x. Instead of having b now, we're going to replace it with 2, and it was minus. So that's going to become the, let me scroll down so you can see it. That's going to become the equation of the line that is parallel. Same slope, goes to the point negative 4, 5. All right, so now I'm going to show you method 2. So method 2 is y minus the y value of the point, which is 5, is equal to minus 3/4 let me put the minus 3 over the top there. 3/4 x minus the x value of our point, and the x value of our point was negative 4. So here what we have is x plus 4. So y minus 5 is equal to negative 3/4 x if you distribute the negative 3/4 times x, and then that's a plus 4. That double negative there is plus 4. So you're going to have plus negative 3/4 times 4. Remember, it's not negative anymore because that double negative makes it a positive 4. And so what's going to happen here is the 4 is going to cancel. So you'll have negative 3/4 x minus 3, but when you add a 5 to both sides, you'll get 2. So you have y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2, which is the same answer we got from the other method. So you can pick and choose which method you prefer. So that's for the parallel line. So now let's go ahead and do the perpendicular line. Now the perpendicular line is not going to have the same slope of negative 3/4. It's going to have the negative reciprocal. So if you flip this, 3/4 will become negative 4/3. But the opposite of negative 4/3 makes it a positive 4/3. So it's going to be of the form y equal to 4/3 x. Now I just have to find out what my plus b is. And so again, I substitute in the point, and so I have 5 here goes in for y, and negative 4 goes in for x. So let's go out to math type to capture that. So we have 5 equals And then when we multiply 4/3 times -4, we can treat this -4 as -4/1. And so we're going to get -16/3. Plus b. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 to cancel the 3's. And so I'll get 3 times 5, which is 15, equal to -16 plus 3b. Adding a 16 to both sides, I get 31 equals 3b. And then when I divide by 3, I get 31/3 equals b. I messed up here. So then our equation becomes y equals 4/3 x plus 31/3. So that's using the method where we substitute in and solve for b. Now I'm going to use the formula where we have the point slope formula. So it says it's y minus the y value, which was 5, is equal to 4/3 x minus a -4, but I'm just going to rewrite that as x plus 4. Because when you subtract a negative number, it's the same as adding. So when we distribute the 4/3, we'll have y minus 5. Actually, let's just multiply both sides. Well, no, we'll do y minus, well, yeah, let's just multiply both sides by 3, and then we don't have to worry about that 3 in the denominator. So we have 3y minus 15 equals 4, because the 3 is going to cancel, times x plus 4. So when I distribute the 4, I'm going to get 4x plus 16. And then when I add a 15 to both sides, I'm going to get 31 again. So 30y minus 15 equals 4x plus 16. Adding a 15 to both sides, I'll have 3y equals 4x plus 31. And then when I divide by 3, I'll get y equals 4/3 x plus 31/3. And so we get the same answer. So let's go ahead and type that into ALEKS. And so we're going to replace that with 31/3. All right, well, thank you so much. This is problem number 5 on the sample final.